Good afternoon. Welcome to Business. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, has said the economy is not ready for a fixed cedi rate to the dollar. It follows calls by businesses for a fixed exchange rate regime to deal with the cedi's perennial depreciation. Addressing the press in Accra, Dr. Addison detailed some measures to stabilize the local currency.
The Bank of Ghana has come under some criticism over its limited dollar supply onto the market, but Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Ernest Addison, says they have to be strategic with this intervention.
This is why we have a central bank. The Bank of Ghana is here managing the policy. The intention is to ensure that we have price stability, and with price stability we should expect to have exchange rate stability. But to the extent that we have a flexible exchange rate policy and a liberal market, you will see day-to-day fluctuations in the exchange rate. But the objective is to try to keep the exchange rate and prices as stable as we can. We have an inflation target of 8%. That should translate into a very stable exchange rate for 2019 and beyond. And you have to look at it within the inflation targeting framework, which will set the bounds for the extent of exchange rate depreciation that one can expect.
The governor was, however, quick to add that despite all these challenges, the cedi's 8% depreciation was still far better than its peers.
Now, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 2 years ago announced business registration will go 100% paperless in November 2017. Now, years after the promise, business owners are still left frustrated as they chase paperwork and move from one department to the other to complete the registration of their businesses. In our Joy News DFID project, assessing business registration process for startups, we speak to Chief Executive Officer of the Orioles Group, John Ama, who has been sharing the views of some young Ghanaian entrepreneurs about the situation.
Largely, if you look at the concerns of many young people, it's about how cumbersome the process is. When you take that process and you put it online, you've actually extended the cumbersomeness. So it would take a lot more. I don't know if you've visited the site. You see that there are videos there and so on to educate people on that, but they don't know who to talk to. If we're able to do that, that would help. The second issue is that there's also the issue of multiplicity of government agencies, such that you've heard the arguments that maybe taking this online will help. But the question is, why do I still need to go to RGD, and then from there go to AMA for a business operating permit, and then from there go to FDA and so on and so forth? So when governments say that, should we have a one-stop shop where you have all of these offices, pseudo offices, located in one area, let's say the RGD's office, would that help? I think not. I think it's also, again, a duplicity of the efforts that we're trying to put on the paperless system. Can RGD be a facilitator, so that I need not present my documents to all of these people? They need not be physically present at the RGD office. But RGD can facilitate all of these licenses that I need on my behalf. So I don't interact with a lot more people to reduce, again, the corruption, supposed corruption in the system. And so I think if that happens, that would largely also expedite the online process, which means that a young person can go to the RGD's office and file for the registration of a limited liability company, and he wants to do construction, there are other permits he'll seek. RGD would facilitate those on his behalf. So to buttress the point about having RGD being the central point.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, John Kuma, says his outfit is aware of the problem. He says the President Akufo-Addo-led government has put in place mechanisms to help new businesses flourish.
The NEIP is aware of some of the concerns that have been raised by some of the startups. Obviously, the ease of doing business in Ghana has to improve. And I'm happy that the Registrar General is also looking at how they can digitize the process so that we can cut down the number of days that people can go through to have their businesses registered. So obviously a lot of advocacy and policy direction is ongoing to ensure that we are able to assist some of these startups to go through the registration process. In fact, last year, as part of our training, We trained 7,000 startups in Ghana, and one of the training model was how to formalize your business. And of course, registration is the first stage of the business. And of course, after you have registered with Registrar General, you are also required to sometimes register with certain regulatory bodies like FDA, depending on the nature of the business you want to do, FDA, Standard Authority, EPA, among many others. So we have taken a number of these startups through the processes so that they understand. Some of them don't even know how to approach it, and they will usually want to go through third parties, which become expensive and sometimes even delay the processes. So yes, these are problems that are there, but we are working hard to improve on the ease of doing business.
In other news this afternoon, government says it is in the process of achieving total automation of the Ghana Revenue Authority's operations in a bid to enhance revenue collection. The GRA, although improved collections in 2018, missed its revenue target as a result of some unlawful trade practices. Deputy Minister of Finance, Kweku Kwarteng, tells Joy Business Ghana's revenue collection system is lagging behind as compared with other countries, hence the automation.
Automation is critical. So you have seen current government efforts to automate our customs processes. We are in the process of engaging the deployment of an a complete end-to-end custom systems to improve the multiplicity of vendors we have at the ports. It is one of the many things government at the moment is doing to ensure that customs improve what they do, not just in the area of even revenue mobilization, but also in trade facilitation, because it is when traders have easy time at the port clearing their goods that trade gets enhanced, and then the economy sees the growth we're looking for.
But you don't think some of the targets are also somehow outrageous, like some analysts will say?
If you look at revenue to GDP for comparable economies, Ghana is lagging far behind. That tells us that others are doing better than we are doing, and we don't have the option but to improve.
And that's all in business. Sports is up next.